Hello and welcome to Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures on what is a beautiful morning here in Yorkshire. We've had a few foggy mornings in the last week here and the temperatures are plummeting at night time and early mornings too. So if you've got crops, get some fleece on and get them protected. Now, intriguingly, why am I holding a lovely little seed tray filled with soil? Well, there's still a few odd jobs you can do on the allotment or in your back garden or in your conservatory at this time of year. And this, it won't come smelling of roses, but it will come smelling of something else which can ward off vampires if you believe the legends. Well, sit back, relax, come on, put your feet up, you know the drill, have a cuppa, and welcome once again to Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. I'm sat on my bench in my favourite place on the allotment and in full sunshine today. Now these here are the leaves that I had enough. So I've still got the leaves underneath here and they're breaking down nicely. Now, interestingly about this bag is it weighs a lot more than it did before because it's full of moisture now, and the leaves with a few holes in the side here are starting to decompose and they're accepting all the mold onto it and they're really going for it. It's probably, I would think, twice as heavy as it was when it's just dried leaves, but that's doing its job and it's going to stay here for a few more days while the sun's still up high in the sky, and then it'll be popped into a lovely corner. Now, what are we doing today? What can you do now in November? Yes, we're in November, and I think most of the world now has changed over into, well, the fall. So we've fallen back, we've gained an extra hour. Now, so I've got here, now I've got to be very careful because, interestingly, I'll just pop those in there. This has been in the sunshine in my greenhouse, and well, they were a lovely green when I bought them, and now they're light green. Just a seed tray. I've taken the seed capsules out. It came with 4 little inserts, and you can put your seeds in there. But I'm going to use it just like this. And what I'm going to do for that little stone in here, I'm going to place something, as I said earlier, that keep the vampires away. You don't have to go very special here, but we're just going to do some garlic. Now, all you have to do is split your garlic off, if I can. There we go. And just take the outer of it. Don't bother taking the other leaves off. And there you have, look, got some garlic. And, well, you can actually use shop-bought garlic. You don't need to have the stuff you buy from garden centres. And don't worry about this because this will decompose if it's lying around. I'll just take a few. Now, obviously, you want the ones that look a bit stronger. You can use the smaller ones, but it's always best to try and find ones that got a little bit oomph to them. Now, what you have to be careful of with garlic is, and I've said this before, on their base at the bottom there, that's where, of course, your new shoots are going to come from. That's where your lovely roots will grow into the soil. Don't shove them in really hard because you damage the ends, and have to be really, really careful. You can, of course, I'm putting mine into a tray here, and I'll pop it in the greenhouse. It's almost like a cold frame. So you can put them in cold frames. You can grow them in buckets and grow them in anything you want. As I'm putting them in here. You can put them outdoors. If you do put them outdoors, pop a little fleece on top of them to hopefully keep them a little bit warmer. They do like it cold because that really adds to the flavour next year. So what I tend to do is pop my finger in and just lay them on, and then very gently pop the soil round. So we've got, they don't need to go very deep into the soil because so long as the end is touching and this is damp enough, they will start to root. And just make sure that they're not damaged. Pop another one in there because once they start to shoot, you can very carefully, if you need to, move them. These are going to stay in here. Pop them in here like that. Up, put my little hole in. Don't force them down, as I say, because you will damage the end. And then look at that. You have plenty of garlic for next year. As I said, they do love a bit of cold, the garlic. I've talked before about having them in the fridge and they start rooting in the fridge. And you can grow them in your conservatory and grow them on your shelf in your house if you want to, in the windowsill. Keep an eye on them, of course. That's brilliant. Look at that. Oh, and there's a tiny, tiny one here. Now, I'm not sure how well that will do, but we'll pop it in anyway. And now they're all in. You can water I've pre-watered this, so it's a bit damp. Water around them. Obviously, don't put too much water near them because they'll just rot. You just rot the ends off, and you don't want that. Pop a few more in, and well, there we have my garlic for next year. And as I said, be very, very careful of the ends of the roots. Pop that in there, and we have our planted garlic. I'll pop one more at the end. There you go. And well, because I like garlic, we'll pop some more. Didn't do very well this year with garlic actually, which is a shame. I think it's because I had all mine outside. Of course, we had masses of just rain early on, and I think, to tell you the truth, it damaged the garlic. Well, there you go. That's going to go in there. Its own little microclimate. It'll keep it nice and cool, but not too cool. As I said, they'll go in the greenhouse, and we can grow the garlic onto next year. Finally, after months, as it appears, look at this. I have a red tomato and one coming, and actually this one's turning two. Oh, I'm just so pleased. It comes eventually. A bit of patience. It's not been the best year for me with my tomatoes, but do you know what? I'm going to look forward to having this one here. Here as well, my chili plant, it just keeps on giving. I mean, look at this. Absolutely just break it off. And well, that one's got a little special chili growing on the side of it. Isn't that just absolutely fantastic? These are delicious. I have these on my homemade pizzas. Just slice them up and put them on raw. Absolutely beautiful. Really, really, well, chili, as we say, I suppose. But no, really, really nice. I'm really enjoying it. Luckily, the carrots and the leeks, they're still okay. One's on the floor. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I don't know whether something's eating my carrots. But I've re-watered them today. I'm keeping out. The leeks are doing really well. So fingers crossed. Here still, we're getting some more tarragon. I've taken quite a lot out. I've dried it very slowly in an oven, and then I've left some on the side, and just let it dry naturally. And then I've chopped it up, or even just I take one of these off. Now, some say you should take the leaves off, which I have been doing, but sometimes, leaving it on a full sprig like that, pop it into a lovely stew or with a lovely sauce, and it gives that unique tarragon flavour. This is French tarragon, and I absolutely love it. Some of the ends are now going a little bit brown. All I do is just take those off, and you can actually freeze it as well, which is brilliant stuff. And you use it, and of course freezing will keep the lovely flavour. Some people say actually putting it in the oven, which is what I do sometimes, just takes rid of all the flavour, but I've not found that. I'm doing it on very, very low oven. The lowest my oven can go over a very long period of time, and it will dry well beautifully. And as I say, I do use the absolutely fantastic flavoursome leaves off the tarragon. Now here behind me, of course, I've got my garlic. Now what I did put in the end of this garlic here, I've just sown some cauliflower seeds, and hopefully over the next month or so they'll start to come up and get them to little pots. And because it's got a lovely oh hello, I've just noticed my pane of glass is falling out. I better get that back on. And I don't know why the springs go, but they do over time. That's a job to be done here on the allotment in a very few moments. Well, hand over to me next to our roses. Well, before I go today, I just thought I'd show you. Look at these beautiful roses. They smell absolutely delicious. They've come out in adversity, in all weathers. As I said, fog and very cold weather, but they're still blooming. They're absolutely gorgeous. They seem so delicate. The rabbit loves them, by the way, but they are absolutely incredible. Now, I'm stood here where most of my roses were from last year and a few raspberries. I've had to prune them back quite drastically, actually. Every single leaf that was left was covered in some sort of aphid. And so I've got rid of those. They're on the pile, ready to burn. And they'll be checked through later today, hopefully. And we'll get those burnt. Don't want any more pests on the allotment than we have already. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's show. It's been great being back once more. Thank you for all your comments. It's wonderful. I hope the people in Spain and Valencia are okay, that have had all the nasty, horrible floods once again. Our thoughts are with you and your family at this time. And let's hope for a magical next few weeks as we head, towards, dare we say the C word? I won't say it on this show, but I might say it on the next few. Well, once again, it's great to have you on board. and I'll see you next time here on Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures.